A reprieve for the former Thai Prime Minister Thaksin Shinawatra as the criminal court in Bangkok dismisses a royal insult case against the 76-year-old. Legal and political challenges confronting him and his family, including his daughter, now that's suspended Prime Minister Paetongtarn Shinawatra, however, are not over. CNA's Saksith Saiyasombut reports from Bangkok.
The 76-year-old walks out of Bangkok's criminal court with his freedom intact. The judges dismissing the case, accusing him of insulting Thailand's monarchy. Acquitted, acquitted. Unlike in almost all prior court dates, Thaksin Shinawatra left through the front door of the court, almost triumphantly showing himself to the assembled media that he scored a partial victory in a series of legal court battles against him and his family's grip onto power. In a statement, the court explained that the submitted evidence, a social media video clip of an interview he gave to a South Korean newspaper in 2015, was not clear in its origin and that he didn't make a direct insult to the monarchy when discussing the toppling of his sister Yingluck's government in 2014. Thaksin's lawyer later described the former Prime Minister's relief at the outcome.
ท่านก็ตกเป็นเหยื่อผมเคยพูดคำนี้และยังยืนยันว่าท่านตกเป็นเหยื่อและตอนนี้ท่านก็พิสูจน์ตัวเองท่านก็เดินเข้ากระบวนการและก็สู้ตามกระบวนการอย่างเต็มที่นะครับผลก็ออกมาตามวันนี้
Thailand's lese-majeste law criminalizes threats and insults to the country's officially revered monarchs with punishments of up to 15 years in jail per offense. But more often than not in the past, the scope of interpretation of this law has been widened to include general discussions of the role of the monarchy within Thailand's power structure. That is how hundreds of activists that have called for political reform have been charged with lese-majeste, many of them facing lengthy jail terms. Acquittals in these kind of cases, they have happened before, but the circumstances of Thaksin's case were unusual. This was just the first of 3 court verdicts against him and his family. Next Friday, the Constitutional Court will deliver its verdict against Thaksin's daughter, the suspended Prime Minister Paetongtarn Shinawatra, accused of ethical violations in the case of a leaked phone call with former Cambodian Prime Minister Hun Sen during a brewing border dispute. And then there's a Supreme Court verdict on September 9th over his controversial hospital detention. Exactly 2 years ago on this day, Thaksin returned from 15 years of self-exile. While convicted for past crimes, he served his sentence in a VIP hospital wing instead of a jail cell and was pardoned and released after only half a year later. It is widely perceived in Thailand to be part of a deal he made with his political enemies that allowed him to come home, but also forced him to share power with them. Since his release, Thaksin continued to make his presence felt, openly commenting on his daughter's government affairs, which might have been too much for his enemies. And that, observers say, led to the various legal complaints and court cases against him and his family. One way to contain his influence over Thai politics. And by possibly removing his daughter from government just a year after she came into power, that would be quite a setback for the governing Pure Thai party that Thaksin founded way back in 1998. They would be forced to rebuild yet another government for the second time in just as many years. The next few weeks will be watched with anticipation whether or not this could spell the end of the Shinawatras in Thai politics. Saksith Saiyasombut, CNA Bangkok.
A billionaire turned politician Thaksin Shinawatra's acquittal putting a spotlight on what had once been considered a formidable force in Thai politics. As the Shinawatra dynasty's future hangs in the balance, we take a closer look at the country's most influential and polarizing political figures. Born in 1949 in the northern city of Chiang Mai, Thaksin began his career as a police officer before venturing into business. He got his big break in the late 1980s when he started a telecoms empire, Shincorp. And as the world reeled from the Asian financial crisis, Thaksin found his calling to enter politics in 1998. The Thai Rak Thai party quickly rose to prominence, with its leader vowing to pull the country out of recession. Through offers of cheap medical care and debt relief, Thaksin gained support for his populist policies, all these resonating with poorer voters. Elected in 2001 and once again in a landslide victory in 2005, he was the first Prime Minister to serve a full term. His anti-drug war campaign, which Human Rights Watch says resulted in around 2,800 extrajudicial killings, brought international condemnation, but Thaksin appeared to ride out the storm thanks to strong rural backing that kept him in power. But his support base was challenged in 2006 when a military coup ended his second term while he was abroad. Disliked by Thailand's powerful elites, Thaksin faced a raft of corruption charges, including accusations of disrespecting the monarch. Faced with pressure to step down, the former premier lived in self-imposed exile for 15 years. But although his party was outlawed, Thaksin continued to wield influence on politics back home. His sister Yingluck Shinawatra continued the family's legacy. Yingluck led the Pheu Thai party to victory in 2011 and became Thailand's first female prime minister. But her government's proposal for Thaksin's amnesty quickly spiraled into nationwide protests, leading to another military coup in 2014. All eyes now on Thaksin's daughter, Prime Minister Paetongtarn Shinawatra. Now, she took up the mantle of Pheu Thai party and became Prime Minister last year. But she is currently suspended from office while facing a separate ethics case. Thitinan Pongsudarak from Chulalongkorn University told CNA earlier that he sees the Pheu Thai party's future as fragile.
Nonetheless, I think the family now, Paetongtarn, if she survives, to be very weak. The coalition is very, very weak. The slim majority. Pheu Thai is also much weaker. We could see Pheu Thai splitting up with breakaway factions. The party that used to be Thai Rak Thai in 2001 was a juggernaut. Now it's just a remnant, a shadow of itself from a long time ago, from that time. And we could see a breakaway. We could see a party even just not making it, not surviving, not intact.